looking good. Oh god, I really hope I was filming. Hi guys, welcome to Recipes Tested, and today marks 1 year since I've started my channel. So I wanted to do a special video and do a little bit of a unusual video. I mean, I'm on my bed. You guys have never been in my room before. And I wanted to do a video giving you guys some facts about me and hope you guys get to know me a little bit better as a thank you for all of your support and comments and likes and shares and subscribing over this past year. So we'll just get going. I am 28 years old. My birthday is December 31st in 1990. So every new year, I am only for the ending number of the year for about 6 hours on New Year's Eve. I have been cooking for 5 years. Cooking was just not really something that I grew up doing. It was something that, like, my mom was a good cook, but she only really kind of made a handful of things really well. And I never really actually got introduced to cooking all the time until my oldest sister became a stay-at-home mom, and she's a really good cook. And she was kind of my inspiration. The main reason why I started my channel and doing a cooking channel in particular was because my mom died when I was 25. And it was, the idea hit me when it was a couple of months after she died, and I had kind of gotten past the like crying about it and talking about it. I just kind of reached a stage where I realized that the life-stopping grieving process wasn't helping anything, and I just needed to kind of do something to help me move on and continue on with my life. And one thing that I would do is I would just spend all day in my kitchen and I would just cook. And it really did help me kind of, I guess, put my emotions aside and put more logistics into how I personally wanted to deal with her dying and her dying so young into my life. I would just think so much, and it would just help me kind of clear things out because I had something that I was doing. I was keeping busy, so I wasn't able to like mentally wallow in anything. And you know, I would just think about like how Raylan was gonna handle not having a grandma, how Remington was never going to meet her, and just all kinds of stuff. And cooking just really helped me kind of just hone in and kind of just really, it just really helped me in a way keep my mom here with me without like being sad about it. So whenever I do want to try a new recipe, the first place I look is at laurinthekitchen.com. I will link her website down in the description below. But more often than not, her recipes do turn out really well, which is why I recommend them and why I have tested them out, even though I know they've been good recipes because they are just that good, too good not to share kind of thing. I know that I test out a lot of Pinterest recipes, but I actually don't like using Pinterest for cooking and maybe get like ideas for recipes. But I have tried and failed so many recipes that Pinterest is just not some place that I look to for making them, because most of the time the pictures look a lot better than it tastes. I only drink coffee, water, and occasionally a Diet Dr. Pepper, and I do drink tea. I love doing tarot card readings and oracle cards and like meditation and other kinds of spirituality, things like that. I think that there's something so interesting about learning about the inner mind and the inner, I guess, the inner self without sounding super corny. And I just really enjoy learning and doing those things. I am a towering 4'11". I am also a twin. The first recipe I ever cooked when I first got my KitchenAid was a pound cake from laurinthekitchen.com, and it was very good. When I bake, or even when I cook in general, I prefer not using a mixer though. Unless I need to knead something, or I need to like whip egg whites or whipping cream, I'll use my mixer. But usually I just prefer to do everything by hand. It's just a preference thing. My favorite color is brown. And then next, like teal and navy. I love neutral tones, but brown is my favorite color. I love colonial American history, and if I could go to New England, like New Hampshire and Vermont and Maine. Like I would just love to go there and just soak in all the rich history that is there. Like it's amazing to me. I just love stuff like that. I love spring because I feel like it's just like the perfect thing to look forward to, but fall is my favorite season. But there's just something about the freshness and the vibrancy that comes with the spring weather. My favorite musician right now is Charlie Puth. If you've ever seen videos of him like creating his music, go look at them. It's so fascinating watching him speak, the way his brain works and how he creates his music, and I just think that it's so incredibly cool. I would love to go like have a coffee with him and just like watch him, because I think that it's just it's so cool to see someone who could do something like so musically inclined and get it from their head to their mouth to like a screen or on paper and verbalize it in a way that's not only understandable, but it's like intriguing and inspiring at the same time. I was born in Portland, Oregon, and my family lived just outside of Seattle, Washington on, like I said, December 31st. My due date was April 15th. So I was born at just about 26 weeks gestation and I weighed 21 ounces. So I was considered a micro preemie. My twin was too. So I spent 4 months in the NICU just growing and developing. And if you don't know, babies who are born that early have a very, very low survival rate. I do know that there was like a high likelihood of my twin and I having delays and developmental disabilities, like we might have been deaf or blind or had like mental issues, maybe had to be in a wheelchair, stuff like that. As far as medical standards, it's like a miracle that we are alive and a miracle that we are as physically and mentally able as we are. I have 3 older sisters and 1 younger brother. I met my husband on a double date when I was currently dating my ex-boyfriend. I had broken up with my ex and he had broken up with his. And so our exes started dating. And so we started dating and we got married and they broke up. I wake up an extra 45 minutes early so that I can have some time to read and be by myself and just have my coffee and just have some peace and quiet. My most used swear word is I say a lot. I have 3 tattoos, 1 on my wrist of my son's name. I have 1 on my hip of a surfboard with like an ocean wavy scene behind it as an inspiration for me to go to Australia when I retire. But I don't know if that'll happen because like I'm kind of terrified of Australia. And then I have a dog print on my ankle of a dog that I had when I was growing up. And I plan on getting at least Remington's name for sure. One kind of weird thing about me is I always notice the time at 6:21 a.m. or p.m. I don't know what it is. The only thing that I can think is that my son's birthday is June 21st, so that's 6:21 as well. And I just happen to notice 6:21 all the time, especially the number 21. 21 is turning into my favorite number. My favorite movies are She's the Man, White Chicks, and Bend It Like Beckham. My first job ever was at a daycare when I was 16 years old. I had just turned 16. My boss completely hated me. I don't know why. She just didn't like me. And I'm like, dude, I'm like a teenager. What did I do? I work here from 3 to 6. And that daycare, actually, I quit working there because it had been there for a while and they had some faulty wiring, and over one weekend it caught on fire. And they tried to blame me for the fire. They didn't like file any charges or anything, but they were able to rebuild the center with insurance money, and then they went under and they sold. I'm like super grateful that it happened over the weekend when nobody was there, because that would have been like a really traumatizing experience. That was my first job. I have a awful memory. I cannot remember things like for the life of me. People will tell me things that I've told them and I just have like no recollection. Bits and pieces of my childhood I remember, but I just like cannot remember. If I don't write something down like physically with pen and paper, I can't remember. Like if I type it, won't remember it. I have to handwrite all my grocery lists. I have started to keep a journal to help me, but unless it's like a super highlight or I guess a low light, I'll remember things. But like, no, I just like have a really crappy memory. My family calls me either Bree, Branna, Branny, or Bran. I have never broken, fractured, or sprained any bones in my entire body ever in my life. When I was in high school, my favorite subject was biology because the teacher was like super hot. But yeah, Mr. Wiles was like a super cutie. But he was like a really cool guy too. Like it wasn't just that like he was like attractive. He was like an overall like seemingly very good person. Granted, we don't get to know our teachers very well, let's just be honest. But it was super hot. Probably still is. Anytime I see a military homecoming video or I'm watching any sort of TV show and a baby's being born, I always cry. Or at least like my nose gets tickly. Like I just get so emotional. I just must be like a giant baby deep down. Okay, and this is the last fact. So if you guys are counting, let me know in the comments if I got 30 because that was my goal. My favorite song is Old Red by Blake Shelton. There's just something about that song. Every time it comes on, I just turn it way up. And I don't even really like a lot of old country, but I do like that. I do like country music, but that song is just my favorite, man. I just love that song. And my least favorite song probably ever is Holla Back Girl by Gwen Stefani, which is kind of really funny because I did not think about the fact that they are dating, but that's it. So guys, thanks for watching this video and supporting me and my channel and my journey and really our journey over this last year. I really, really appreciate it. And if you've just stumbled across my channel, if I can speak English, hit that subscribe button for me. It really, truly, truly means a lot. And thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. And let's see what we can get going on with the next year of Recipes Tested. And I'll see you guys next time with my next recipe. Bye.